Alien Queen gave him a wish. His shocking choice changed the galaxy forever. The war had ended, but the air still reeked of smoke and sorrow. In the heart of the conquered capital, amidst the ruins of the once mighty Phyrexian Empire, the last remaining forces of Earth stood victorious. The great alien palace, forged from crimson crystal and pulsating with ancient power, now bore flags of peace. The humans had won, but not by brute force alone. It was him, the one no one expected, Sergeant Elias Rourke, a man with scars older than the war itself, and a heart that had endured more losses and victories. He had not come for conquest. He had come for survival, for mercy. But in doing so, he changed everything. And now, he stood before the alien queen, High Queen Valeth of the Phyrexian Dominion. 8 feet tall, regal, with glimmering violet skin and golden eyes that shimmered like dying stars. Her court had fallen. Her people had surrendered. Yet she remained unbroken. She had summoned Elias, alone, to the throne chamber that floated high above the city ruins. "You could have killed me," she said, her voice echoing with layered tones, commanding and sad all at once. "I didn't come to kill," Elias replied. "That's never why I fought." Her golden eyes narrowed. "You saved my daughter from blast, even though she had ordered your death only a day prior. She was a child. I wasn't going to let her die for the sins of a throne." There was a long silence. Then Queen Valeth stood and descended from her throne. The chamber guard shifted nervously, but obeyed her silent gesture to leave. "I owe you a life debt by Phyrexian law. You may ask anything of me, one wish human, anything, power, wealth, a world of your own. Even me, if that is what your kind desire." Elias frowned, taken aback. "I don't want any of that." The queen tilted her head. "Then name it." He looked around the chamber, its walls covered in stories of conquest, war, domination. The legacy of a species bred to rule. "I want peace," Elias said. Queen Valeth blinked. "Be specific. I want you to dismantle the Dominion, not through blood or violence. I want you to use your influence, your voice, to turn this war machine into a council of worlds. No more empire. No more thrones. Let your people choose their leaders. Build something better." Silence. You could hear the chamber breathing. "You wish for democracy?" "I wish for peace," Elias repeated. "A real one, not something enforced by a boot or a laser rifle. If you want to repay me, change this galaxy. Stop ruling it." Valeth stared at him as if he had grown wings. "No man has ever stood before me and refused everything, and yet asked for everything." Elias smiled wearily. "Maybe I'm not a man anymore. Maybe I'm just tired of the killing." She stepped closer. Her presence was overwhelming. Ancient, heavy with the weight of centuries. "My advisors will resist. My generals will rebel. Many will call this betrayal. But if you do it," he said, "you'll be the greatest queen your people ever had." She stared at him, then smiled. A small, strange smile, soft, almost human. "You may not want a throne, Elias Rourke, but you speak like one who deserves one." 3 months later, the Phyrexian Empire was no more. From the ashes of tyranny, a coalition of free worlds was born. The first council made of human, Phyrexian, and neutral systems alike. Queen Valeth abdicated her throne, becoming the first speaker of the new order. Some called it madness. Others called it betrayal. But billions saw it as hope. The decision shocked the galaxy. Elias disappeared from the spotlight, refusing titles, honors, and rewards. He quietly retired to a green planet on the edge of the new border. His name became legend, then myth, but the galaxy was not done with him. 1 year later, a sleek ship landed on the grassy hill outside his modest home. He watched it from the porch, hands dusty from gardening. The door hissed open, and Queen Vela stepped out, not in robes or jewels, but in a simple traveler's outfit, her hair loose, eyes clear. "You found me. I never lost you," she said, walking toward him. He nodded toward the distant stars. "How goes the new order?" "Challenging. Beautiful. Worth fighting for. Just like you said. I didn't do it alone." "No, but you were the spark." A silence passed between them, comfortable. Then she said, "You made a wish, Elias, and I granted it, but I never got to make mine." He tilted his head. "Go on then." "I wish." She stepped closer, her gaze softer than he remembered. "To stay here, at least for a while, with the one man who asked nothing for himself and gave everything." Elias's lips twitched into a smile. "No throne, no need. There's no higher place than beside someone who sees a galaxy for what it could be, not what it was." They stood there together, under the setting twin suns, as the stars emerged. Stars that now twinkled over a changed galaxy, one that bent not to war, but to a single choice. A wish, and the human who dared to make it.